Peace y'all, I am ICC and welcome back to another 5-minute review. In today's episode, we will be talking about FZero on the Super Nintendo. This futuristic racing game was developed by Nintendo EAD and released in Japan in November of 1990 and North America in August of 1991. This was one of 2 launch titles in Japan and just one of several launch titles in North America. This is the first game of the FZero series and it has seen new life on the Wii, Wii U, and Nintendo 3DS. One can't talk about FZero and fail to mention the use of Mode 7. Many gamers will know Mode 7 because of games like Final Fantasy, but long before Final Fantasy 2 and 3, there was FZero. For those that don't know, Mode 7 is a graphics mode on the SNES that allows a background layer to be rotated and scaled. One of the most popular uses for this is what you see here in FZero, an effect that lays the bitmap down for a pseudo 3D feel. FZero contains 4 vehicles for you to choose from. The vehicles are actually hover cars. You have the Blue Falcon, Golden Fox, Wild Goose, and the Fire Stingray. Each one has unique stats. Some have better acceleration than others, but they will have a slower top speed overall to kind of even things out. I personally like the Fire Stingray. It has the highest top speed, so if you can keep your speed and avoid obstacles and opponents, then you should do decently. However, avoiding opponents is harder than it sounds. It seems like they always find a way to jump in your way or to bump you into a wall so you lose even more life. I don't know if they are programmed that way on purpose or if they just happen to be in the way all the time. Either way, this is one of the biggest issues when it comes to winning the races. I seem to be in first place quite often just for some guy that is being lapped to get in my way and smack me right into the wall. The tracks are designed well and there is a good mix. There are some obstacles in the tracks, including landmines that explode on impact, magnets that attract you to the side walls that damage your car, and you can also jump off the track and your car will explode in a fiery blaze. Some of the tracks have a sort of remixed version, like Mute City 1 and Mute City 2. It's almost the same track, but there will be a detour here and there, and maybe an extra trap or 2. Not a bad thing to include, and if they didn't do that, maybe they wouldn't be able to fit 15 total tracks, so I'm okay with it. As I just stated, the game has a total of 15 tracks, with there being 3 different leagues and 5 tracks per league. You can choose from the Knight, Queen, or King leagues. Most of the tracks can be completed in about 3 to 4 minutes, so you can beat each league in about 20 minutes or so, and beat the game in about 1 hour. There are 3 difficulty levels to choose from: Beginner, Standard, and Expert. If it's your first time playing, you might want to work your way up to Expert, but you could probably skip Beginning and just start with Standard. The replay value is pretty much the same as any racer, besides Mario Kart. I would have to say Mario Kart has a replay value miles above this, but for what it is, the replay value is average for a racing game. The game saves your lap times and total race times, so you can try to set records and then let your friends try to take them down. Besides that, the game is not 2-player, so don't expect any races versus friends and don't expect any battles. The graphics are one of the best parts of the game. The Mode 7 really shines here, and you can see why the game was chosen as a launch title. Sega released Sonic to show off the speed and their blast processing, but FZero seems just as fast and uses Mode 7. I would put this game versus any other early 16-bit racer as far as the graphics are concerned. The music is a mixed bag. Some of the tracks have really loud drums and you can't really hear anything else. The mixing could have been better. But then you have tracks like the Mute City theme song, which is a classic. And you can even find this in games like Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, though I would prefer to listen to the original. Overall, I would say the game is a classic and has some classic tunes. I would recommend it for anyone just getting into Super Nintendo games, and I would also recommend it to anyone who grew up with Genesis and never really got around to the Super Nintendo. This will show them the power of the console. At the end of the day, this receives the ICC stamp of approval for the simple fact it was a launch title and not a lot of games did Mode 7 better than this game. I am ICC, thank you for watching, and until next time, Peace.